The NFL draft wrapped up yesterday, and I took a day to digest all the picks and trades, and I come to you now with a concrete grade on how your team did today. But now we have finally got into the NFC East. Let's talk about the Commanders, because there's a lot of nuance when it comes to what they did, right? Because we got to bring up the fact that they don't have a third rounder this year because of Laramie Tunsil. They acquired one of the best pass blocking tackles in the game. That also cost them a second rounder next year. They didn't have a fifth rounder this season because of acquiring Deebo Samuel. I think that's worth the 1 year flyer on trying to push for that NFC championship game once again and push for that Super Bowl. Get in there. So I thought those were moves worthwhile, even if you had to expend draft capital. And all in all, I thought they did good in the draft itself. Josh Connolly Jr. doesn't have to start right away. He legitimately doesn't. You could develop him. And I assume it's going to be at right tackle. So you don't have to rush him out there right away. The last time we saw him at right tackle, Mike Green was putting him on his back. Doesn't mean Connolly's a bad player. He has a lot of good tape at left tackle at Oregon. So just someone you might want to develop. Trey Amos was an absolute steal at pick 61. I had him at 37 on my big board, and they just sat back and waited for it to come to them. That's a phenomenal job here by the Commanders to get a legit outside corner. Now they don't have a pick until the 4th, but it's Jalen Lane. This team lost De'Ami Brown, their vertical speed threat. They just replaced him with another vertical speed threat, 4.34 speed. He does have some nasty drops on tape, but that's something you can work on with him. I like taking the shot on Lane. And then they end up getting Kane Medrano out of UCLA linebacker at 205. I think he tested out as one of the fastest linebacker. He was at least the fastest linebacker at the combine. And you see it. I believe he's also a former wide receiver, similar to Carson Schwessinger. But Medrano, I think it's worth taking the shot on. If he ends up just being a sub package guy, that's a-okay. I love that they were able to snag a running back and one I was high on at pick 245. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt out of Arizona. It sucks that he fell. I had him at 131 on my board, but you get why he falls. He didn't play this season. Would have been his first taste of Power 4 competition. That sucks, but he ends up being the practice player of the week at the Shrine. The Shrine Bowl game MVP. He had a big offseason draft process, tested well. This is someone that might get mixed up in the rotation sooner rather than later. So I like what they did with this draft. I'm going to go ahead and give it a A. It's a good class here by the Washington Commanders. Good class. Okay, let's head to Philly because, man, I have heard a lot of different things from Philadelphia Eagles fans on how they feel about this draft class. And I guess at the end of the day, I think they drafted a lot of players I liked. Jahad Campbell, they move up one spot, trade a fifth to move up one spot with Kansas City to go and get Jahad Campbell. He falls because it sounds like there might be some sketchy medicals when it comes to, I don't know if it's specifically the labrum tear or just the shoulder in general, but I think you're getting better Nakobe Dean. You're getting longer, faster Nakobe Dean, who also had the shoulder injuries. But Jahad Campbell is someone you could use in a versatile manner. He can be a pass rusher. He can be a blitzer. So I'm cool. I'm cool with the pick. I like the pick. Andrew Makuba. I love the player. I had two better safeties on the board, in my opinion. Kevin Winston out of Penn State and Xavier Watts out of Notre Dame. And that's not to throw shade at Andrew Makuba. I freaking love Makuba, but he is undersized. He plays a very punishing style that's going to make you concerned. Can he handle the the physicality of the NFL. So there's going to be some durability question marks there. But he ended up showing off ball skills this year. I wanted to see more splash plays and coverage, and he was like, don't worry, I got you covered. He does feel a bit more like Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. I'm here thinking, I was like, oh, isn't this more of the Reed Blankenship role? And then I thought about just Makuba's game, and I was like, no, he's definitely more Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. So I like the player. There were just other guys higher on the board for me. It is what it is, though. I like the player. I'm not going to bump the grade down that much. They have a pick in the 4th here because they just kept trading down. Like, I'm not going to go over all their trade downs. They traded down a ton. And I thought, okay, well, they're going to just acquire more capital for next year so they can maneuver the draft how they want. No, they were just trading for more capital in this draft. Like, in hindsight, I was like looking at it. I was like, oh my gosh, they were just trading for more picks in this class. And it's just kind of wild. So they get Ty Robinson, defensive line out of Nebraska. Very much a penetrator. Great straight line speed. If you're looking for someone to come in and get after the quarterback, he can do that. I like Mac McWilliams out of Central Florida. This is higher than where I had him on my board, though. I think he could work inside and out, and he's a perfect fit for Vic Fangio. Small Munden, linebacker out of Georgia. Kind of like okay, cool. It's a good depth pick. Maybe he plays some special teams. Drew Kendall, center out of Boston College. Still needs to continue to develop that play strength, but I believe the Eagles did not have a backup center, and now they have one that they could also develop. I low-key like the Kyle McCord pick. Call me crazy. Tanner McKee, he could be a free agent in another year or two. I think it's another 2 years. You could develop Kyle McCord as the backup quarterback, the heir apparent at backup quarterback. The dude's a gamer. I don't mind it. It's a 6th-round pick. Miles Hinton, I wasn't too high on. I had him at 281. But it's a pick at 191 if you like some of the tools, because he is big, he is long. Woof, I love talking about offensive line. But then they come back at 207 and they grab Cameron Williams, tackle out of Texas. I think medicals with the knee is what dropped him to the 6th, because I think at least his floor was 4th round just based on the tape, because he's got a lot of good tools, but there were peaks and there were valleys when it came to his play. But he's a 1-year starter, so you kind of expect that. It's just someone that needs more time to develop. Probably should have came back to school, but I think something popped off with the knee that maybe got him red flagged, because he should not have been here. This is really good value. Antoine Powell Ryland, edge out of Virginia Tech, just lacks ideal length. Curious kid, is he going to be able to sustain against NFL physicality? But you're getting a really good DPR. Some people were really, really high on him. This was literally right about where I had him going. So I was kind of okay with it. I thought, I was like, oh, this is good value. Other people, this is a steal. This is good value. Dude, how he kept trading back, acquiring picks, and getting players I like. I can't be mad at this draft. Like, even Makuba, I feel like I put out a fair argument, but I still really like the player. I'm going to give it an A-. Howie, I think, did Howie things. If I'm Eagles fans, I won't sweat this too much, because I think they did a really, really good job. All right, let's talk about these freaking Giants. All right, you did the right thing. First off, big check mark, big A+. You sat at 3 and you took the best player on the board. In this case, it was Abdul Carter. In the process, you also gave Kayvon Thibodeau the 5th-year option, which means you're going to run through with a disgusting rotation of pass rushers. We all knew that they were going to move up for quarterback. Many people had it pegged that Brian Daboll likes Jackson Dart. We knew moving up, if they move up, you're going to want to do it at the back end of the 1st round. just because the price tag won't be that much, but teams know you're moving up for quarterback. You're the Giants. So the price tag's going to be a little bit much. And it was a little bit, but it wasn't bad. They ended up trading pick 34 to get to pick 25. They gave up a third this year and a third next year. So it's not a terrible price tag when all things considered. You gain the 5th-year option on a guy like Jackson Dart. Jackson Dart was the lowest guy on my board taken in the first round. I get why the Giants did it. You inspire some hope to the future. I might not love it, but I also appreciate they didn't do this with pick 3. They just sat and picked at pick 3. Pick 65, Darius Alexander. This is about the range I had him going in. That defensive line feels crazy good. Watch out. They're getting after it. Cam Scatterboo, such a good 4th-round pick as well. I had him at 59 on my big board. I thought he could fall, but I knew if he made it to the 4th, he was going to last long. A very good complement to Tyrone Tracy, who brings a little bit more speed. He's got that pass catching upside as well. Scatterboo, he's got that pass catching upside as well, but he's a little bit more of the boom. I like those two as complements. Marcus Bowe, guard, could be a tackle out of Purdue, going to pick 154. I thought I was low on him. He was at what? 92 on my big board, because it felt like many people had him in top 75. Goes at 154. It makes me think was there some medicals we don't know about, or was it just his game needs a lot of polish. We love the athleticism. We love the pop he plays with. Tired of seeing him on the ground every rep. Maybe it was a little more of that, but it's good value here. Thomas Fedone, I thought was a solid pickup, receiving tight end. You can get him in the mix there in 2-3 tight end sets at 219. And then Corey Black, who I thought was a 5th rounder. He's a perfect scheme fit. He's a press man corner. That's going to work for Shane Bowen. They got him at 246. This was a really good draft. Even if you consider, okay, they kind of had to go and get Jackson Dart. Okay, fine. But it didn't sacrifice. It didn't come at the expense of the rest of their draft. Like Abdul Carter, really good pick. Darius Alexander, really good picks. Cam Scatterboo, really good pick. Marcus Bowe, really good value. Thomas Fedone, good value. Corey Black, good value. This was a really good draft, and I'm going to give it an A. When all things considered, I don't mind taking the shot on a quarterback. You didn't invest a ton. You get that 5th-year option, but you also got pieces that can help you stay competitive now. I know free agency was really a bulk of that. That's bringing some guys that can make our team competitive next year. But you also did that via the draft with guys like Carter, Alexander, and Scatterboo. All right, we've finally come to the end of the line here. I got to record one more of these today, guys. Golly. But we're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys. As I had some mixed feelings about Tyler Booker. I guess not as the prospect. He was just lower down my board. He was much closer to the back end of the first round for me. The Cowboys, I'm very curious to see specifically what they're going to do with him. Is this just your right tackle or right guard replacement? Which sucks. I would love to see Brock Hoffman give it a go. Or you kick Tyler Smith to tackle, Tyler Booker to left guard, and you move Tyler Guyton to right tackle, because we all know Terrence Steele feels washed. Ever since you gave him money, he hasn't been that good. I'm very intrigued. I don't love the value of the pick. It is what it is. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it if it gives you more versatility along the offensive line. Especially if your next 2 picks are Donovan Ezeraku and Savone Revel. Donovan Ezeraku, phenomenal value at 44. I'm kind of shocked he didn't go at the back end of the first or even early into the second. They just had to stay put. They just sat back, arms back, sipping their coffee, just... Oh, Donovan Ezeraku still on the board. Sure, let's grab some extra pass rush, which you lose to Marcus Lawrence. That makes sense. Sam Williams, but he's been hurt. He's been on the outs with the coaching staff or the front office there. They did draft Marshawn Nealon last year, but he's coming off injury. They can make room for a guy like Donovan Ezaraku. They got to pay Micah Parsons too. I imagine they do. Savone Revel is nice. He's going to be, it sounds like he might start from the get-go because Trayvon Diggs might not be good to go week 1. But even then, you could kick Deron Bland into the slot when Diggs does come back. I love Revel. I had him at 38 on my big board, so ends up being extraordinary value. I will say Jaden Blue's the one pick I don't like from this draft class. Like, I can wrap my head around Tyler Booker. Jaden Blue, cool, you got a receiving back. It's kind of like Deuce Vaughn. Sure, I mean, Blue might have more speed to it, but he's also has been a fumbling machine in college. Cool, he's fast. I don't know. I didn't love it. It was a 5th rounder, whatever. I love Shamar James. Matter of fact, I think they moved up. They traded up to go get Shamar James, a linebacker out of Florida. He wore the green dot for Florida. He was someone that was putting everybody in, making sure everyone is in the correct formation and assignment. And he is really fast on the field. You look at his zebra time at the Senior Bowl, and he was fast, the fastest among linebackers. He was right up there with some of the corners and wide receivers. Didn't necessarily test that fast at the combine, but I think that's okay. He's much faster on the field, and he's a young guy. He's 21. Very good pick. Ajani Cornelius, I didn't love the fit, or not necessarily the fit. I'm not a big fan of the pick. Look, sounds like he's going to be a guard. It's 6th round. You could take a shot. It's fine. It's pick 204. Just because I didn't love it doesn't mean I don't understand it. Some people liked Cornelius. He was just coming off a rough year. And then they grab a big, meaty run defender in Jay Toei out of UCLA. And I mean big. He's like 6'2", 342. So he brings a lot of size. Not much pass rush capabilities, and that's fine. They just want you to stop the run. Phil Maffa, he's a big running back. 239. I'm not mad at. Tommy Akin Besote. I tried. I didn't watch him. He's the other defensive tackle there from Maryland. I caught a little bit of him in passing, and he seemed pretty powerful. But to me, he's just a guy. Again, I didn't write an eval. It's 247. I'm not gonna go too into it. But they drafted some guys I liked in Jay, Shamar. I love the Revel. I think that's exceptional value. Sure, I may not have liked. I didn't like the Jaden Blue pick. For me, the Tyler Booker, you could have maybe gone somewhere more valuable. Like, I really wish that this team came away with a wide receiver at some point. Oh, I guess you did. You grabbed Jaden Blue. I wish they grabbed some pass catchers. That's kind of what brings down the grade for me. I'm going to give them an A-, but all in all, a lot of these teams had really good drafts.